hir gelar Mordor. Nani hir gelar Mordor.
The fortress is to be made to build.
There is still light to be uncovered within the Land of Shadow. Nani hir gelar Mordor.
Wish we didn't have to go wherever we're told. Or just stay at the fort and...
Nani hir gelar Mordor. Though my power is diminished, it is not wholly spent. We will not abandon Middle-earth and depart into the West until the Betrayer and all his works are undone. Nani hir gelar Mordor. I vab gelebren iachortha I vorn. Tridaol hith efuin. An achared di werienin anan. Erio thelaeth gwrth. Edwenno Ogwath, Trilaich Puigadol Dagol. Nathadir Edwegenin, Inaudir Edil, Nunamnin. Natha Tognir Inain, Iwath Dangarnen. Ochedin Valanor, Anadlethad Nor Eduath. Noded Ramas Enardon. Mechan de Morchir, Natha Lekalad Arfigad. Nin Gostatha Gwaithban Agelatha.
How many shots you get?
Killing the Tark won't be so easy. At least not for the likes of you.
It's never good news. Yeah, I saw to it he didn't. All right, you stinking lot. Shut your goals. Shut it! Some terrible news here. Terrible. Once again, the filthy humans sided with the dwarves, who had help from those sanctimonious bastards, the elves, who were rescued by, and I am not making this up, the damn giant eagles, to slaughter thousands of our brethren in what we should all be calling the battle to unfairly gang up on the orcs. Our lands get invaded, our chieftains killed, and our people murdered. Where does it end? Well, I tell you it ends here, and it ends right now. They can't stop the march of progress. They can't stop us!
These Uruk live for battle.
Then we shall not disappoint them.
From a black cat, you'll be pit food for the category.
See, there were two of them, and they both came in from the road with a hard look in their eyes, as if they traveled too far and seen too much. They were wizards, true, both of them caked in dust. And when one would talk, he'd stop to think, and there'd be the other to finish right up. Like they had one brain and two mouths. It was creepy for sure, but neither seemed to notice. I heard them say they were hunting in the darkness. Damned if I know if they found it. But I guess those fellows can find trouble when they're looking for it.
I laughed at Deerheil when he talked of wizards, necromancers, and magic. I told him to stop being a child.
As children, you are closest to the Eldar. When grown, you have no understanding of immortality.
All right. Hold still. I'm afraid to say it's going to... It's going to hurt. I've done all I can. We've called for one of your people, but I don't... In the meantime, why don't you tell me about that? The medallion you're holding.
You just want to distract me. Very well. These are the two trees of Valinor. A symbol of the endless cycle. Life, death, and rebirth. Come closer, and I will tell you their tale. We must... I feel we must distract ourselves from the grim happenings of this day.
There will be no medals for us, Celebrimbor. No honor or glory.
Let those who come after take the glory. We must keep hope alive long enough for them to have that chance.
His wound was too great. I had thought...
You stayed with him. It is enough.
Here. He'd probably want you to have it. It's broken, but...
No, human. You keep it. These are ancient things, those trees. We watch them wither and die with the cold, but always they return. We see strength in their roots, and hope as they stretch into the light. Let this token remind you of the elf you tried to save, of the bond between your people and mine.
We are not the first alliance of men and elves to challenge Sauron within Mordor.
No, but we shall be the last. In victory or defeat, my people will diminish.
Beard can fend off any pride against too close.
Here, take this. I want someone watching over Queen Marwen at all times. I am afraid she may do harm to herself. Now go. Mother, what is happening to you? Is this gift worth the price you are paying?
The end of darkness is worth whatever price. Such is the spirit of Nurn and Nitharion.
Nurn needs you, Mother. These visions do not bring us enough benefit to befit your loss.
But they do, my child. I have seen a vision of the Ringmaker, Celebrimbor himself. It is through him alone that Nurn may be saved.
This land is rich and green, but there is a sickness on it.
These waters are bitter, and the creatures within them foul. But they will feed Sauron's war machine.
Isn't it lovely, dear? The dwarves made this.
You've been drinking! You smell like a mule who's gotten into the rock gut!
It's a fine anniversary present. And look at the craftsmanship.
Our anniversary was last week.
It was brought in from the sea.
You mean you won this at the tavern? My husband? Get in the house!
The rivers of this sea reach beyond the Efelduoth. If the tribesmen can escape, they could travel north to Minas Ether.
The Tower of the Moon.
Keep sharpening. You've got to hone your axe until its edge can split one of your beard hairs in two.
Oh, it's sharp enough to kill a growl. Now pass me the pipe.
Sharp enough ain't what the hunt's about, little brother. You've got to learn to respect the hunt. A keen blade for a clean kill. Without respect for the beast, we're no better than the orcs. Now, let's give her a taste.
But Durin, give a dwarf fair warning when you yank hairs from his beard.
Look at this, Torvin. Split the hair in two. There's hope for you yet.
That dwarf knows no fear. I don't know if he's brave or stupid. Or both.
He has no fear of death. But there are many worse things than death waiting in Mordor.
Call that a fast talk.
Finished. A true masterwork. What a fine carving. The front, I etched us killing this here Mumak. And the back, our next prize, the mighty Graug. A beast like that is a hunter's legacy.
Show me the carving.
Isn't it magnificent? Such detail. Look at me striking the mighty beast. Blood everywhere.
And why am I etched running away from the Mumak in terror?
Artistic license, Brother Torvin.
If you want to be the hero, I suggest next time you make the carving.
Yet, I'm still standing.
This Torvin does not seem to know his limitations.
He is not one to wait for his fate to come to him. He rushes to meet it.
Careful with the pouch, Torvin. It almost went in the fire.
That old thing. Time to get rid of that rag. It barely keeps the pipeweed dry.
It is a rag, brother. And I'll keep this souvenir from our first hunt till it turns to dust. Remember us tracking that great spider through Mirkwood nearly 60 years ago? Then drawing her out using live bait?
Yes, but why do I always have to be the bait?
You have a quality. You make things want to kill you. It's a gift, really. But Torvin, this was your first kill. Ours together is what made you a hunter. And I'll treasure it always, brother.
I caught Deerhire puffing on that pipeweed once. He raided the garrison pantry and consumed a week's worth of field rations.
Human minds and appetites are a mystery to my people.
Brother, where are you? Bloody ground knocked me senseless. And, brother. My Durin's being No, this shouldn't be. This is my fault. I should have been more prepared. I should have listened to you. I should have been a better hunter. I will avenge you, brother. I will hunt this Graug in your name. And I will be the hunter you always wanted me to be.
He lost his brother.
Hunter and hunted. Death takes them all.
I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it. But the orcs here have an ally in the stinking flies. Mordor has its share of stiffs. And I had thought the flies were just getting their fill. But they're moving and attacking like one. Like they got a brain. I've tried to avoid them. They build nests everywhere, and you can hear them buzzing all the time. The orcs here seem to worship the pests, except of course when getting stung by them. The orcs say they're spies. But who are they spying for? They aren't yours, are they?
There are other forces in Mordor besides ourselves and Sauron.
Yes, these are the spies of Kurunir.
The damn flies seem to be following me. I can't hardly go nowhere without them buzzing around. I was going to scout Towerbolt, the slave city. The orcs got a prison there, and enough people in chains to run the mines and the mills and make the city go. But there it was. One stinking fly. I could hear it buzzing, but couldn't see it or squash it. Thing was following me, I swear. I was out on a skip, middle of the Sea of Nurn, and the fly was coming along for a ride, like it knew. Following me like all the time. I can't get the buzzing and humming to stop. It don't matter whether I'm sleeping or eating or squatting. I can hear them. They're in my damn head. Make them stop!
The war that is coming will engulf all of Middle-earth.
Many powers are moving their pieces into place.
By the white waters of the river Unween, by the colors so many they burn bright, may Nurn now look to Marwen, to my gift of second sight. May the elements of earth, fire, air form gateway to worlds unseen. Spirits of Valinor, hear my prayer, and grant great power new to the shore's queen.
These tribesmen are desperate. They will do anything to resist the Uruks.
I fear Lithariel will never surrender. Her honor will doom them all.
The north collapses upon us. The Tower of Nightmare builds in Nurn. The Nameless One returns.
Mother, take this.
Thank you, my child.
These visions corrode you. And what medicine we still have is fast done away.
My visions are the hope of Nurn. If I must sacrifice myself for my people, so be it.
What happened in the Grey Mountains, Mother?
What happened, Lithariel? I left with the strength we need.
Information can be dangerous.
The difference between poison and medicine is often in the dose.
Try my patience, and you'll be supper. Who's this now? Some unhappy bandit named Forloon or Gorfab or something. He was screaming for his wife. The boys laid into him a bit. More in a bit. He dead? Nah. The boys know the big man powerful living and wants a word. His sack of dong might know where his thief pals are hiding. Strip him down. Take the ring, too, and give it to the boss. He likes that stuff. And when he wakes up...
Is there nothing these Uruk will not desecrate?
For them, beauty exists only to be destroyed.
By that time, we'd grown used to seeing them. But the shorter one had grown cold, distant. He could read the leaves, the lines in a man's hand, the bumps on his head. He could see, you know? And I guess it got to him. The knowing. They'd go off together, and you could tell when they met up with the orcs. The sky would darken, and there would be hail, or rain, or winds that shook the trees. And then, sure enough, everything would clear. They never spoke about any of that. Although we'd always want to know. Best not, they'd say. The two left without saying a word. Only it was Funny like, because the shorter fellow left behind all his maps and the odd little board he used to see into the future. Traveling light, maybe. Or maybe... I don't know. Maybe he thought he'd have no more use for it.
Another mystery. Mordor is full of secrets.
The Order of Istari. Messengers sent to contest the will of Sauron. These two went east long ago and were never seen again.
Does you go see into your head? Take on become a stick man. Should have just...
Funny thing that. They told us their names plenty of times, but we all forgot. To a man, we forgot. It was like they didn't want us remembering. After a while, they were just the two Istari, and sometimes the big one and the little one. Can't say how I can't remember. I remember the bigger one telling us stories of a goblin city, of a man who could turn himself into a bear, of the time when, well, I guess it didn't matter too much to him that some of his stories needed some cleaning up, or would scare a dead man out of his grave. When the bigger one left, he took his cane, but he left a walking stick behind, with all these little notches cut into it. He was keeping track of something for sure.
These wizards, the Istari, what do you know of them? Is their power greater than yours?
I have not yet been tested against them. Saruman the White is the leader of the White Council. His knowledge of the Rings of Power is deep.
I speak with the mouth of Sauron, the second Dark Lord of this Middle-earth. Our will is his will. Mordor is ours, and fairly won. You will take this message from Sauron back to your Spider Queen Shelob, the last daughter of Ungoliant. Your eggs will not be allowed to hatch in Mordor. Your children will no longer prey on the Morgul flies. You will depart this realm, abandon your nests in Nan Ungol. You have grown fat on our generosity. We have fed you as we would a pet, allowed you to run unfettered. This ends now. Our union, as it was, has ended. Our will is irresistible. We have spoken.
Every creature here seems to live to slaughter every other.
And every one of them will learn to fear us above all.
Exactly. Don't tell the captain, but I cut off its bits and made it bleed out.
It's good. A coin of the realm. Sure, but it's the coin of Gondor's realm. If you don't want it... I didn't say that, Captain. What about a few less of these and a little more of that elvish cloth you brought over from Eregion? I think we can do that.
Wealth will not save Gondor. Uruk do not care for trinkets.
Sauron will use gold to buy allies among the kingdoms of men.
bodies there.
Is that bad?
It's worse. We've abandoned Duathang, either to the orcs or the outcasts. I can't imagine which is worse. We're thin on the ground here.
2 regiments worth called back home. Maybe a dozen more down with the sweats.
Maybe even more than that. I don't think we can hide it anymore, no matter how they change up the patrols. The orcs may have already smelt it out, too. They're getting uppity in Mordor. Here, look at this.
That's quite a blade. Where'd you get it?
Off an orc scout. I expect he won't need it anymore. You keep it.
That is the spirit of Mordor. The knife in the back. They do our work for us.
They are united in their hatred of man, and dominated by the will of their master.
I never want to have to be at the Udun outpost again.
Me neither.
The orcs are making things mighty difficult. This might be my last one in a long while.
My wife and I, we need to be elsewhere.
The lockbox. Open it. Now.
Why?
These are hard times. And I need to know you can pay. Up front. Well now, that's hardly enough for both.
We've always... That's all I have. Please, my wife.
Should have saved more. Now, room for 1 on the boat. You decide.
Too many slaves being transported through there.
There are still some paths open out of Mordor.
The more we can set Mordor to flame, the more people will reach freedom.
I don't know what them strange powers are, but they did a right number on Sakuga.
Please, my wife.
Yes, the Uruk have told me you to go on about her. Tell us what we need to know. Where are the bandits? Where are your friends?
I need to see her. I need...
Yes, your wife. Again. It has been a long time. And while the physical pain of your torture will pass, you will always hurt inside. The loss is like a gaping wound. You have suffered quite enough torment, and it is time for your misery to end. Your wife is waiting.
Damn you. They're in the woods. The hidden woods.
Take him away.
But you said...
Yes, our promise. You will be reunited with your wife, now long dead. Know you have betrayed your friends and doomed yourself over a distant memory, a phantom. And when you are reunited with your wife, know that we will also carry your skull as a trifle, and a reminder that our will is irresistible. Now go. Your wife awaits.
And to put him out of his misery.
There are stories and fates more bitter than ours within Mordor.
Those who gave in to despair, who abandoned all hope of redemption. That is not our fate.
Damn, they got the whole raiding party and ate the flag. See the webs? It's spiders. Filthy creatures. Likely coming up from the valley down south. We should clear it out. You should shut your big yap. Don't nobody come back from that place. Wonder if they're working for Sheila. Sauron used to feed her, and I guess she don't remember whose pet she is. It might be time for a reminder.
The
say spiders are crawling out of the walls. They have an evil look.
The children of Ungoliant. They devour light in their endless hunger.